Oter of the Flame. Oh man, what to say. Look, you will find me in the camp of people glazing up this mangaka. I am solidly one of the people who believe that Red Hood was left to die by the side of the road way earlier than it should have been. I shelled out my own hard-earned money to buy those volumes even though I knew it had a rushed ending. The same can be true of how I feel about this series. I like the setting, I like, mostly, the characters. I think there is a genuinely inspired art and, at times, action sequences. That being said, it feels kind of tiring to feel like I always have to go to bat for your series and defend my position on why this series should exist. Even when compared to its peers, and no, I'm not talking about the big boys, I mean series that it should be on the level with, like Shinobi Undercover, let's say. Yes, it has had more time to establish itself, but there is no doubt in my mind that Shinobi Undercover has a place in the magazine. It doesn't need me feeling like I have to defend it. It just is, and I know it's good. I guess what I'm trying to say is my hope for Oter of the Flame is that it stops needing me to search for reasons why it's good. And just be good. That would make it so that it consistently gets higher ratings from week to week, but it definitely does not deserve the axe, though I am a little worried. Here are my highlights of my reviews of Oter of the Flame through the end of 2025. Okay guys, send the positive vibes to Shueisha. Just send them. I really like this mangaka. I think this series has promise. Please do not let Axe-kun find this series. Please send your money, send your vibes. I don't care. Keep it going. I think that the art is really dynamic and there's some really cool paneling that goes on. I will say that it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit more context during the fighting sequences, just to keep the fight in your mind's eye. It's sometimes hard to follow where people are in relation to what. That being said, I've been really enjoying this current arc. He also Takno Jutsus his way through to Filga and getting the power-up he so desperately needed. I think that the power-up design is super cool, and I'm very happy to have Filga back in the fold. Time for the stand battles to commence. Also, it's okay to slow down a little. I hope it doesn't mean anything, right? I do really like this chapter, and as you guys have noticed, this series as a whole, but I'm gonna step back for just a second here to say just that this series is lacking a little bit of the tie to the overall meta-narrative of the story. I think that the rush to have the cool characters doing cool things is just taking away a bit from the story. I like this story, so I want to learn more about it. The Water Ice Demon tries to repeal Takno Jutsu, but Oter is determined to use Takno Jutsu to win this fight, even if it means smacking him with the big sword to do it. Some cool action shots, let's see where this goes. This week, Oter decides to have his shonen cake and eat it too, by both talking and fighting with his enemies to win. Then at the end, we get a cameo appearance by someone who looks like the biggest bad of the series. Oh no, did you guys hear that? It's the sound of the axe getting sharpened in the distance. I don't think that this series is trending in the right direction, unfortunately. I still remember what I said a few weeks ago, but it's not looking good, guys. Huh. Well. Maybe we don't have as much to worry about. It turns out that the guy who we thought was the big bad is not actually the big bad, but a big boss who is seriously misunderstood. Kind of giving like Vegeta vibes, honestly. For a moment, with all the story drops and lore dumping, I was getting the distinct sudden end of Red Hood vibes, but it turns out that this guy is just trying to keep the seal strong on the true big bad. That the Ice Kingdom is actually a kingdom of refugees from the world of man. Also, it turns out that men had the opportunity to help and not be invaded, but they predictably acted like the worst. Oter now has to try to convince this guy that he's the main character and that he's a good guy. Not gonna lie, I was really worried that we were seeing the end. But I ended up liking this chapter. Let's hope we pick up the story from here and that it isn't just a prelude to a quick end.